cut flat. The gym was closed or what?
I was just training with Neil for like 2 hours.
Incredible. Well, we say training. I talked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked. And he sort of gave me some tips and advice. And I'm so out of practice, Ray. It's like, dude, what is going down? Let's have a look. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about you, Ray. It's about you and Ryan Bowen. That's what it's about.
Hey, did you see the part where I said to Engin, I'm like, Engin, you have to expect this, because I'm expecting this. As soon as we get on stage, the crowd's gonna cheer what?
It's coming. Everybody knows it will happen.
I'm like, and I explained to him, and he's like, okay, that makes sense. He said, because if they would start, I would just go outside with the mic and just shut up.
Oh, yeah, mate.
I'm like,
that kind of stuff won't fly with Engin. You won't have that. You will not have that stuff.
I had to. He's like, why is people, like hating on Ryan about what? I'm like, have you seen the Delusional series? I'm like, watch that and you're gonna understand where some people.
The thing is, it's not hating on him. It's good old fashioned kick the shit out of each other banter, and that's what life revolves around. I think. I mean, it's an essential part of life. I think certainly England wouldn't function without that.
Yes, yeah. I can't wait to get there and come back and keep calling everyone a wanker.
Yeah, for no apparent reason. You walk around your mum's house, she's making some food on a Sunday night, and you're like, wanker. She's like, Raymond? Because your mum can always call you that, can't she? Call you middle name as well. In Latvia, the mums do that. Do you middle name your ass? You're in trouble when they middle name you.
I don't have a middle name. Some people have middle names.
You do. You've got a middle name. You do. It's Ray.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's Rowley. Ray. Your actual name is Rowley. Your middle name is Ray.
Yes.
Just a coach.
Yeah, just a coach.
Ray, we should intro the show. We'll intro the show and you'll carry on. Right.
Tank, fly, boss, walk, jam, nitty gritty. You're listening to the boy with the big side titties. This is jam hot.
Let me tell you guys, welcome to the Fix Show 110, mother fluffers. And we're live. Did you notice how glitch-free it went tonight, lads? Straight into the live.
Right in there. Smooth.
Yeah.
The chat, everything was going.
I would say because best-looking guys are here, that's why.
Now, we should let them know. We should let people know that is the case because only moments ago, ladies and gentlemen in the chats, we had terrible, disturbing news here on the Fix. Which is why
Ryan Bowen has monkeypox.
He has monkeypox.
Monkeypox for him.
For how many monkeys have died?
I don't know. He said the best way to train is train with the monkeys. So I guess what. Yeah. Ryan's sick. That's the thing. He doesn't have monkeypox.
He said he got up. He was ready to go. I'll read you his text. This is what he said to us. It was heartfelt, and he went in casual. I thought, it was quite a relaxing start, and then it got really serious really quick. He goes,
"Hey lads, just woken up." Then ... So you sort of like, oh fuck, what's going on? Got up, made a coffee, and I'm good to go. But I think a flu has set in. Damn, sniffing and sneezing continuously. I think it'd be more of a hindrance than anything today. We'll sit this one out. Ray, cats suck. That's what we got.
Keep reading.
Is that a
keep reading
to his message before East versus West 4? Is this a pre-COVID precursor? Is that what this is?
And what was my answer, Neil? Pick up.
No, Ryan, you suck.
That's how that went down.
But only in that chat we can start every time with, "Hey lads, what's up, mate?"
Yeah.
Any other chat, I will never write, "What's up, lads?"
Never.
No.
That's not a Latvian thing, is it? You don't do that. You're far more respectful.
That's not even a Canadian thing or Australian thing.
I think Engin should do a chat show where he gets through the entire thing without talking about respect. That'd be awesome. Because Engin, I feel like, right? I love Engin. He's absolute quality. And I think Engin from a low base of being in the banter cycle, he's sort of like transitioning, isn't he? Slowly. He's slowly coming across, where in a few, you can conceivably see that in 10, 25 years, he'll be like, you can't, Could happen.
No,
you don't
no way.
No, you don't see that happening. No, I feel like he's transitioned quite a lot into sort of Western culture. Yeah,
he is moving. But I remember Engen on the Northwest message board, and he was shoved off of there from all the trolling and whatnot. So he is doing a lot better these days. I will give him that.
God, he gets in trying to spice things up.
Yeah.
East versus West, but he shoehorns it in, doesn't he? I love how Engen shoehorns it in. When you get on them press conferences and he'll just look across, formal as hell, and he'll suddenly go, Igor, his mama. I can't do this, Treg, and he'll be on. I've sent him the link. He'll come on in a minute and say, Neil, I'm gonna kill you when I see you. I'll kick your head in. Because you can't discuss this kind of thing with Engen. But he could go on there and go, Igor, your mama hoe. just randomly throw something in there.
I feel like Neil Pickup needs to have a match, needs to West, and I can't wait to see that press conference.
Mate, there's a thing kicked on today. I had like 5 messages, random messages. I don't know why, but random people coming out of the woodwork saying, I hear you're going to be pulling it. I'm like, no, where did that come from? I have not said nothing about.
I spread that rumor, but I don't know.
Did you actually?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't know why.
Shit.
I mean, we can, if you want us to, we certainly can.
What would be the best way? Should I make it like a Reddit account and just under anyone posts something, I'm like, yeah, but he really has herpes or something. What the hell is this?
You just went Panasonic on
Panasonic, yeah. Damn it, I have to put in.
I think you were using that mustache app too much last week.
Going to get a quick plug in, Ray. We came back in forest pose. You immediately threw into your native habitat. Yeah, it's like,
default settings.
Yeah, yeah. Kick back in. Sorry, guys. I just relaxed for a moment there and went all forest on your ass.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the stuff right there. Western Survivor beef jerky, the greatest beef jerky in the world. This was actually the stuff that Ray was eating when he originally shot the forest shots. Have you seen the forest shots, John, the original set?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, wonderfully tasteful. Yeah. Did you ever have a Athena in Canada? Like it was like a art shop, card shop. They used to do like wonderfully shot pictures of people. Like there used to be one that my missus used to love with some dude in a garage, and he was like with his overalls down, he's bare chested, and he's holding a couple of tires. And some of these things got massive. They were really big, And Rolly Ray had sort of adopted that in the original forest shot. Have you got any of the original forest shots there, Ray? You can just fire up as a background so people can see you in your magnificent glory. You got any there on your computer? You get a woman round for the first time and say, it's me, that.
You ever been to the forest?
Yeah. You've been to the forest. How do you feel about elm trees, love?
What's your favorite tree?
Yeah. How do you feel about the woods?
I got a mighty oak for you.
Yeah. Look at this. Bonsai.
I'm looking for it. You don't worry, Neil. You just keep on the conversation going.
Mate, I'm on there. We've got a super chat through from a man, Jared Theriault. But my money's on Ray. Oh, there's so much money on Ray. Everybody's backing you, mate. I feel like you see yourself an underdog and everybody else sees you as a favourite. It's getting exciting. He's put my money's on Ray. Big fan, guys. Keep up the work. Jared, thanks very much, mate. Who have you got, John? Be honest.
I am definitely rooting for Ray.
Oh,
clearly. Hey, makes sense.
I think it might be a pretty damn good match, but I will go Ray because if I end up tangling with Ryan left, we could send Ryan home with the worst arm wrestling weekend he has ever had in his life.
Losing to you, not even real arm wrestlers.
Yeah.
I feel Ryan, you're in the chat, you peen ass.
But he's not coming on, yeah?
Don't be in the chat, Ryan. Don't be in the chat. Either come on the show or off you fuck. You can't be in the chat, Ryan. This is not on.
You're
either
in or you're out.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Listen to John. Knows the score. And John be coming on here with Ebola. Don't matter what John gets. He's in. Here we go.
I'm here.
NWUK with a super chat. Lovely darts. Thanks, mate. Thanks for supporting the channel. He's put, what's up, lads? Neil, what's the figure to get you back on the table? Thin. I think is the figure that I need.
Square.
Is there any, yeah, thinner than this.
Triangle.
Is there any chance we could see it soon? Ray, well done in the Iron House. Oh, he's only warming up yet, mate. He's got more to come. You've more to come from Rolly Ray, the Iron House. But yeah, thanks, mate. I don't see myself pulling anytime soon, brother, to be honest. Not something I haven't touched an arm wrestling table for many years. So not something I see happening. Still loving it. I'll still pull if there's a table there. But yeah, I haven't done any I very rarely do train, period, at the moment. Do a little bit of bench now and again and some pull-ups, but that's it. Jared Theriot with another super chat. He's put, hey guys, question. What's your guys' opinion on Jerry versus Gennady? I think Jerry is so unorthodox and something Gennady may not be used to. It's an interesting one, mate. I really like that match. I always feel like Jerry, as I've said many times, is the guy who gets overlooked a lot. And when Jerry comes in revved and ready, I think he's a threat for a lot of people for the reasons you just said. He is unorthodox. He is unusual. And he's unique in the environment as a presser. I don't think there's many people that press like Jerry. So
a couple things on that real quick. I want to impress upon people the fact that Jerry at peak, be careful. But where is Jerry? The last really, really big match Jerry had was against Michael at WAL, which was an amazing match. It was a great match. And it's a shame that we haven't seen it again. We need to see it again. But the question is, where is Jerry? I talked to Chance Shaw about this the other night, and he's like, not close. Gennady kills him.
Of course he has to say that. But of course he has to say that. You know, he wants to have a match with him. You know, what else he gonna see? He's like, oh my God, Jerry's so strong, and I think Gennady's very weak. You know, no.
Yeah.
I feel like Gennady's very intelligent. I feel like he knows how to arm wrestle guys correctly. I think he's got the theory dialed in. And it'll be very interesting to see if he can shut down Jerry's acid attack, if he can keep him off balance.
Neil, where did you find my forest poses where I cannot find my forest poses?
You know, I haven't filed them down. I've got a little file, and it's just...
Of course.
Basically, it just says Ray as fuck. And I can immediately go in. It's on my other computer, though, mate. It's the one there that the girls can access, so they can go on there and just, you know, if they feel like they're a little down and they need to just pep up their day.
It's on my site only, Ray.
Yeah, Ray fans only Ray in the forest. Yeah, in a wooded glade. It's beautifully lit, that. Whoever did that stuff, I don't know who you got into doing, mate, but did you have a professional photographer or just your mate with an amazing lighting kit?
That was my sister. She's a photographer.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Your sister shot that?
Yeah.
Dude, I love you, Ray. Honestly, I'm glad you're my son, because I absolutely love that you went, tell you what, fancy nipping down the woods and me cracking my shirt off, doing a couple of nice, tasteful black and white shots.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, mate. If I'd ever had a physique like that, I would have been I wouldn't have a shirt. I'd don't need that.
You would go full Liver King mode, where he doesn't wear a shirt at all, you know?
I wouldn't have one.
Would you consider doing a cat edition where all you're wearing is a cat?
Ray, that would sell.
Tastefully placed cats.
It would.
Tastefully placed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, you could have so much fun with that. Just call it Woods and Pussy. I mean, the opportunities are endless with that, right?
Woods and Pussy.
Yeah. You could go steaming in. Yeah. That's what she said. Now, Jared Theriot's not playing games tonight, guys, just so you know. But what's your guys' opinion on Alex versus Corey? Corey is making great strides, and Alex is not a joke when it comes to pulling. Mate, that is a very difficult one, I feel, to call, because both guys have sort of just had opposite outings in some ways. The momentum really being gained of late by the mighty Mr. West.
Yes.
I think Alex probably will come back firing all cylinders after what happened with Dave, even though it was chafy. It's not like he got beat by a bad arm wrestler, but I do feel like it will have injected some venom in him, and I feel like he'll come back. So I think we'll see a very motivated version of Alex.
I mean, he cut his hair off as penance.
That's bad,
right?
Oh, really?
Intense.
Who cut his hair off?
Alex.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you know, man does that. It's serious. Henry Bowslall with a super chat. Nearly you commentating at King of the Table 4. I am, brother. I am going to be
in
there.
person this time, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going over there. So I'm very, very amped about that. Myself and the mighty Rolly Ray will be on that one. Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it very much. I think that's going to be a very interesting card now. Generally, I like Marcio. I think that's a great match. I mean, particularly Irakli's outing against Todd. I think that'll light a fire under him as well. I think he'll be a little, not embarrassed. Embarrassed isn't the right word, but I think he'll be pissed off because he'd been on a tear and a lot of positivity around him, and the guy's obviously exceptional, very, very strong. I think that's a really good match. I like that a lot. I really do. I'm happy to see Marcio with such a resurgent attitude at the moment. He's getting a lot of attention, and so he should, because that is a bad man. Who do you think in that one?
I've got Marcio pegged, but I'm only going with North Americans at King.
Of course.
So, there you go.
And you should be one of you should always say, well, Europeans are always choosing Europeans, and we're like,
right?
Yes, mate.
It's true. It's true.
I mean,
this pure vodka.
I'd have to say that I've done. Is that what you're on? Vodka?
Yeah.
Evil absolute, mate. You are. I feel like
yes, absolute vodka. Exactly. That's one. That's the brand.
Whoever you pick these days, guys, you're a fanboy.
Doesn't
matter however much rationale there is behind it. Fanboy.
You're a hater also.
Hater or fanboy. If you don't like something yet, oh no, you don't like that guy, you're a prick and a hater. And if you do like him, you're a fanboy and a nut swinger. Get off those nuts, boy. Silky Wilkie, the super chat, Blue Bowen, just come on. We won't mind the sniffling. It's like Michael Todd's rhythmic breathing. It was therapeutic, so I just don't mind. I love that approach. Silky Wilkie, thanks, mate. Hey, up. We've dropped Ray again. Ron's, here we go. Carolyn Looms has just come in. What the f is going on with Ray?
I don't know. Something's wrong with my camera. It was working fine, and now it's not working at all.
I never know with you, though, Ray. In a minute, you'll pop up as something. You know, you'll be dressed in some kind. I don't know what you're doing, but you've probably got some plan. So Carolyn Looms with a super chat. But, hi, Neil, would you ever have Uncle John on Giants Live with you as a special guest calling the action? I think he'd beat the side of Colin Bryce. What, in a fight? I think that wouldn't be my choice, mate. Colin Bryce is the boss.
Yeah.
Well, that's Colin. Yeah, Colin Bryce is kind of the boss of Giants Live, and Darren Sadler. So yeah, what would not be my call, unfortunately. But what can you say? Colin Bryce, a pretty bloody astute presenter. Dude knows his way around presenting. I mean, he's exceptionally experienced. Does a great deal of stuff on, I mean, things like the Olympics. He used to be an Olympic athlete, you know.
Really? In lifting or
bobsled?
Bobsled?
He was a bobsledder, mate.
He's also a singer of a great song.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right?
We should leave that
up, everybody.
He often goes up at the Giants Live gigs. It's like, what the? Ryan Bluebone with the super chat. Nothing on there, but just the super chat. Thanks, mate. Don't know what's going on with Rolly Ray. The technical director seems to have taken a bit of a dive there. And Ryan Bluebone with another super chat. We all know Gasparini, Kadeccia, and Prudnik felt lucky I wasn't there. Hey, that was nice to see those guys hooking up and doing a bit of practice.
Yeah.
You can never learn too much. I got a lot of messages, private messages, John, from people there. So, oh my God, there you go. Comes flying back in. And this is a new cat, Ray.
No.
Shut up.
Are you collecting cats now?
Oh, he couldn't handle it. He's had to come on. It's a new cat. I'd never seen the black one before. I've seen
Oh.
Rue, and I've seen.
No. Well, sometimes I take him and he's just so black you don't see him. We call him darkness. Oh, Ryan
name?
Bowen,
What's
first
going on, lad?
recipient of monkeypox in Australia.
How are you feeling, Ryan?
I couldn't resist it. Yeah,
No, I'm
I
not
will do
gonna-
my best. I will do my best to mute my camera when the sneezing fits occur.
No problem, dude. We can handle that. We were going to absolutely beat the piss out of you anyway. Only, especially when we saw you
I
in the
got
chat.
I got that vibe, so I thought I'd better join.
Yeah, you were having it. There's no doubt about it. When you didn't come in, we thought, oh, we're going to absolutely level him. Last time that went down, Ray was more brutal than he's ever been. Last time you were off here, it was really bad. Who did we have on that night? Oh, it was Evan, wasn't it? And he was like, Jesus, Ray, you're like, you say stuff that I wouldn't want to say.
It wasn't that bad. Come on, just stop it.
Yeah, it's quite bad. Jared Theriault with another super chat. He's put, will there ever be Devon versus Hermes? Or is it depending on how badly Devon beats Levin at King of the Table? Ready, bang. Oh, you'll get in trouble from Jake using the ready bang at the end there, son. You're going to watch yourself. Be on your ass. Hey, it's getting close. We're going to go into that in detail and get a little feel for where people's heads are at as we head into the home straight. I spoke to Devon today. Looked in a really good place. Very, very relaxed indeed. Brian Teal, thanks for your super chats. But Neil, you hosting and commentating at King of the Table 4 event is fantastic. Team back tits for the win. That's it, mate. So we roll. It'll be nice to be there in person. Did I hear you're going over as well, John? Or did I make that up?
Going over
To watch in Dubai?
No.
You're not heading over. You're just doing it live commentary.
Yeah.
I hope you've told everybody because Ryan has full on had the billboards done. That's what
Get up. Get up.
I love that you've already gone out there and put the stake in the ground, mate. Like,
Well, yeah, I'm having a crack this time at something different. I've got, yeah, you guys can see what's going on, but I'm trying to do a more thorough coverage than I've ever done. So yeah, the stake's in the ground for sure.
good laugh. When you say more thorough, what are you going to do, dude? Give us a bit of an insight.
What I'm doing is I'm building. I've been drip feeding a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm building a massive premiere that I'll release like 3 hours before the event. That'll run for like 2 hours. The premiere itself will go for 2 hours, really talking about everything, and then that premiere will link straight to a live feed. So that's what I'm working on. Want to give it a really.
You know what I really love about your videos you make now? When someone is talking like this, and I just could. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, man. Well,
how many takes do you have to have?
Like I said, I'm just got. I just watch what other professional sports do, and then I'm like, shit. Well, it works for them. They look professional. I'm doing my best to make anything that comes out on that channel look as though it's at home amongst professional sports.
Well, that's how you can test it. Well, you will see if it works. We will find out on June 25.
To be fair,
back to you, Neil, John, Ryan.
To be fair,
Stop it, Ray. It's too much.
it's like the old Sky Sports stuff we used to get here in the UK, where you'd wake up with your dad would drag you out of bed, and it'd be like Mike Tyson night, and so you'd be a bit knackered. You'd have gone to, he said, go get a couple of hours sleep. Don't worry, I've got you. I will come get you out of bed. We'll watch the build up, watch the fight. 2 hours before, your dad would come in and be like, son. Somebody would grab your leg. You were a bit scared because it might be filthy Uncle Bob, but it's not. It's your dad. and he'd be like, son, get out of bed. And you'd stop twitching once you realised it wasn't filthy Uncle Bob. And he'd be like, okay, Dad, let's get up. Is it tight? Yeah, you've forgotten a bit, but you're up and you're watching Tyson. You get up there and you'd have literally like 2 hours of build-up where it basically shows the same knockout about 550 times. And
That's
then
pretty
Tyson
much
like, is that what you're going to do? You're going to show on footage? Will you have very dramatic talking over it, Ryan?
No, it's gonna be a mixture. You're gonna go up in hype, down in calm and steady, and we're gonna go winding through everything and look at Devon, look at Levan, look at the history of the sport, look at the match, look at what it means, look at everything. We're just gonna do it well. Like everything that we would have done on a live if any of us were live talking about it, building it up, but just done in a pre-recorded manner with overlaid footage, more professionally put in. Just trying to do it better. That's all.
That'd be cool. That'd be a good thing. I mean, I'm genuinely hoping that everybody tunes in and watches the proper commentary on the mother fluff this time, because we ain't playing games.
Hey, we ain't playing games, the son. That's right, son.
Yeah, that's it. Me and Forrest, lad, are all over there.
Be. Look, I don't know what numbers it'll actually get, but this is definitely the biggest attention moment I think in the sport.
Yeah,
at least for I mean, Over the Top had huge attentions because of the movie, but at least in the last few decades, this is the one for attention for sure.
Oh my God! Just because of the situation with arm wrestling in the interim, I mean, since COVID, it's gone to a different place. It's gone online. It existed in the shadows for a long period of time, but the shadows are now where everybody goes. You know, I caught a bit of Pradeep's show earlier on. I was stuck in traffic, and you went on with Engin, Ray, and then I listened to a bit of Pradeep's show, and he was saying on there about the amount of stuff that's going on for arm wrestling, sort of the views that it gets on the scale of the channel versus views. And it is remarkable. You know, when you see a lot of channels out there, and there is a whole lot of channels that are just popping up all over the place with different themes and stuff, but the amount of stuff, the amount of people that have jumped on the bandwagon and are pushing this thing all the way to the bank is amazing. There's so many people that have jumped on it and are trying to sort of squeeze every last bit of juice out of it. And it's gone a little bit crazy. And let's be honest, under difficult circumstances. I mean, the title of tonight's whole thing was around the entertainers. How important are the guys that want to bring the show? You know, what do you want to see most? Do you want to see a guy that engages you? Or do you want to see a guy that's just unbelievably raw strength? And there's going to be guys out there that feel very passionately in either camp, I feel.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing, isn't it? Let's see.
Your passion is directly correlated to the thing you can't do well. Guys who suck at talking are all about power. Guys who suck at arm wrestling are all about talking.
There might be something in that.
Right? That's why I don't shut up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Soviet Latvia, we just arm wrestle. We never talk.
You just nod and frown as we pin your ass. Let's knock over a couple of these super chats.
I will pin him.
Pin him. You're fast gaining momentum, though, Raymond. Oh, yes. Most entertaining guy in the sport of Latvia. So, yeah. Here we go. Thalus. Is that Talus or Thalus? Would you pronounce that? I'm assuming Talus, but I hope I didn't murder that name, mate. You'll have to slap the piss out of me when you see me if I did, in fact, just murder your name, because that is a crime. Here we go. He's put, hey, Neil, is Devon coming on? Also, did you know Levan was in the military too? You know what? Why does everybody call him Levan, for Christ's sake? Why have I started calling him Levan? And have you noticed the name's got screwed? It's Levin.
It's Levin.
It's Levin.
Devon started calling him. I cannot stop calling him Levan.
I know, he's pissing me off. It's Levin.
Levan Saginashvili.
Definitely Levan.
Yeah.
Levan
Not Levin.
No, it's definitely Levan.
He said Levin.
Ask Pradeep. Pradeep will tell you it's Levan.
I mean, yeah. Well, you know, he asks all the sensible questions, doesn't he? Everything that matters in the sport.
And you are Jon Thompson. Jon Thompson.
Thompson.
Jonathan.
Yeah. We ask a lot of sensible questions.
Ryan.
Ryan Bowen. Here we go.
The solid H in there, is it?
To answer the question that Talis has put in there, Devon might be coming on, mate. He said he might pop on actually, because it is it the last fix or the penultimate fix before we go over there? He may come on. Dave 68, is Devon expected in today's chat? Asking for everybody. We will see, and he may well come on. If Devon, if you're tuning in, mate, the fans demand that you show your face. We don't know. He's a busy boy, but he may pop on. Spoke to him early today. He was really chilled. He was in a good place. We had a pretty decent chat about some of the Canadian talent that my man, John Thompson, has been unearthing. The arm wrestling fan with a super chat. But hey guys, did you watch Hermes versus Kadetcha? Practice pull where Hermes looked far superior. Any thoughts on that, Ryan?
Hang on, what? Say it again. I was reading a comment in the chat.
Did you watch Hermes versus Kadetcha and the practice pull where Hermes looked far superior? And have you any thoughts on that?
Yes, Ryan changed the whole world rankings based on that.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it. I saw the
Come
thumbnail.
on, Ryan, give me some energy. He's like, no, yeah, no.
Sorry, Ray. I'm saving it all for you. No, but Hermes is the boss. I think the next season of dominance is going to be the Hermes story after Devon and Levan do their thing.
You just killed his career. Last time you said like Michael 2.0 is coming.
Yeah, well,
and Michael's been amazing on matches, win streak, and
I got the touch. But Hermes, let me answer the damn question, right? Hermes is the man, isn't he? Like, I mean, honestly,
yes, he's a man. Yeah.
He is going to be the next person to genuinely surge into that top 4, like with definite. Right now, he's probably top of the pile. He's probably the closest to cracking in there. But if he was to take on a Dave Chafee, if he was to take on a Devon Larratt, if he was to take on a Vitaly Larratt, and you got to say he's right there in all of them right now. And if you give him 6 months, he's probably the favorite in all of them. I think Hermes is he's coming, and I don't know. That's what I see.
Ryan is very, very sick. Also, it's very, very early. So you made 0 sense in things you just said.
Really?
Yeah.
I always my sort of default position on that is that I'm much more likely to judge him off match results, which Hermes has been impressive in, but I wouldn't put him in as a favourite yet of what I've seen from him in actual matches.
I just think that's happening at the moment with Hermes. He hasn't taken his foot off the accelerator. He's 135 kilos or something now.
Yeah, that's significant.
And he's getting bigger. And he moves. I think he's the most proficient mover among the guys at that top level. And the way he's stonewalling Prudnik and whatnot, it's indicators of trajectories going up.
Dude's very, very strong, and he's clearly pursuing it very, very hard. It'll be interesting to see where he does go. I mean, he's a finisher, isn't he? I feel like he's also a guy that, as we've seen from recent experience and quite past experience, he's a guy who doesn't leave much on the table when he's in training. You'll see a pretty raw version and a very aggressive version of Hermes in training, where with some guys, I think there is a big disparity in their training level and what you see in an event. It'll be very, very interesting to see if he pulls with Alex again for real, where they're at, because it's fair to say that the last time they pulled, Alex was shockingly dominant. I didn't actually expect him to be as dominant as he was in that match, because Hermes is dead.
Told me he can pull in a hook. They should just, he said, no one has asked me to. So if someone says just, how about you try hook, he can hook as well. Yeah, that's a real fact, 100%. He said it.
Yeah. Crassi rated Hermes hook, what, 5 out of 10 or something?
Yes. I said, Crassi, where did you get this information from? I would have given him -2. He's like, -2? Why?
What does he rate Corey West's hook?
He said, I forgot, but he rated him pretty high, of course.
So is that a logical match, do you think? If you see, who would you like to see? Let's say, for example, Corey West comes through Alex. Do you then put him against Hermes? In your mind, would you think, well, that's the most logical step, or would it be more Gennady Quickvinia?
Corey and Gennady. If Corey can beat Alex, Corey and Gennady. Yeah, let's do that.
It's all sorts of exciting, though.
Mate, I'm a massive fan of Gennady Quickvinia. I can't help it. I just feel like Gennady Quickvinia, and I mean this with the greatest respect to most of the guys there, there's something more exciting about him than most guys. He's just got this vibrancy, this visceral nature about him that I really friggin' like. I think he's really entertaining. I don't know what he's saying, but when he starts shouting stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I have literally no idea. He could be saying anything, but it just ignites me. Something that in that guy, I just find entertaining. I always have. He used to shout stuff at the Worlds and Europeans, and
if you were in the bullpen at that time and he was pulling on the other tables, you'd want to go for it. You'd be like, yes, it'd be good. He just fires you up. You know, him and Artem Tainoff used to be amazing for that. You'd be at shows and Tainoff and him would be shouting stuff into the crowd. Amazing. Absolutely love that. I love guys who really get it. When he did that knee slider, was that at the bloody, I can't remember whether that was at Nemiroff Cup, but he literally like ran a knee slid across, you know, he was like 120 kilos. I love that. When somebody does a knee slide, you know, totally destroyed his tracksuit pants. They were good pants, but they went south. But it was worth it for that slider. It was like, I'll tell you what, you've knackered them pants. Well, that was ace. Keep doing that. It's good stuff. He's shafted his knees. Not good. Now then, let's knock a couple of these bad boys over before they get out of sync. Here we go. Silky Wilkie with a super chat. Hermes practice pulled Gennady and immediately understood how Matt felt in his match. Mate, yeah. I can't say often enough, with guys like Yevgeny Prudnik, I do feel there are levels to his game. And I do feel like he is a guy that, given the right set of circumstances, would transform into something bigger, stronger, better. I really do. I think he's pound for pound lethally effective. That's an interesting match. How far he can and will go. Because if you think about it, he's a very similar background and approach to Hermes in terms of the way he's come through the sport. Very different puller, very different stylistically. But they both started around that, you know, that sort of 90 kilo range when they were young men and have started to progress. Obviously, Hermes has taken it further. But frame-wise, the actual structure of the man, they're not that dissimilar. You know, they're not that dissimilar. I love this name, Penguin Turdsey with a super chat. That's one of the greats, that, isn't it? Millie Saganashvili's awesome as well. Has anybody seen that? Where they've got the Millie Vanilli. I fucking love that. That's awesome, isn't it? So, Penguin Turdsey, how many strap-on jokes are king of the table allowing you? It may not happen, mate. It's all in the moment. I feel like strap-on's a thing you can only do in the moment. You ask Ryan. David Toms with a super chat. He's put strap-on equals no parts. Spelled backwards. Thanks, mate. Amazing. Dave's having a good night. I love it. We get the quality fans on here. 816. Pure quality. Canadian Farmer Donny with a super chat, which is another great name. The pandemic helped the sport explode. Anyone agree? Mate, I really do agree. When the pandemic hit, I thought it was the worst thing for arm wrestling possible. I thought, well, my God, that's just pissed on us because we are, by our very nature, opposite of another person. You're right up in the face. For us in combat sports generally, I thought, oh, my God, this is the kiss of death. Terrible. Who knew? Wow.
It's seen the emergence, hasn't it? It's brought on the emergence of like if you look at how many individuals now in the sport can say this is their career. It's 2 years ago you could count them on one hand. Now there's probably I don't know 30, 40, 50 people maybe that are genuinely involved in the sport and making proper money.
What's remarkable is just the whole. It's like the acceptance of the underground. You know, I mean, we're not the sport at the moment. I hope that it evolves and goes there, but we're not the sport at the moment that's in arenas. We're not we haven't got that massive following, and yet online we do. You know, if you have a virtual arena of sorts, you would see how many people are tuned into these things. You know, there really is a lot of it. You've done a few lives. We have had thousands on there, haven't you, right? You know, when you do your live commentaries, how many did you have in last time?
5,000 live is the highest I've had for calling a match.
I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic, though, isn't it? You know, 5,000 people tuning in and looking at that. And most of them won't be arm wrestlers. I guarantee you that. A lot of those will be people who are casually interested in it, you know? So, very interesting. Silky Wilkie with a super chat. Ryan, when you angle the camera for a close-up profile shot, it's also nice if you don't look at the camera. Lets me focus on what you're saying. Otherwise, engaging with your eyes when making a point. Okay.
This is my make a point angle.
Awesome.
If I want to make a great point, like Uncle John looks like a a police officer that's lost his job that can't let go of the last case, then I'd go to this camera.
Uncle John looks like 40-year-old teenager.
By the way, I have to give credit. I have to give credit where credit's due. That comment came from unknown in the chat. I thought it was a brilliant comment.
Enough.
I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that.
I like that. I like that.
Ryan, if you switch to your serious angle, I might fall in love with you.
There it is.
If I keep looking at you too long, I'm like,
you can stare into my eyes, right? Just like it, ready to go. Are you gonna get eye contact with me, or are you gonna look down?
I always have to look up. So
I don't give a. I
tired.
really need to commentate that match, even if it's remotely. Just that match, just the match with you.
Hey, you have to go to East versus West.
Yeah, why aren't you there? Like it's literally like Europe is so freaking easy to get anywhere.
Yeah, Ingen's never approached me about East versus West at all. But listen, that particular match. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's going to go off. NWUK1 with a super chat. But to me, it seems we are spoilt at the moment with Arm Wars, King of the Table, and East versus West. Well, to be fair, King of the Table and East versus West are driven by Core Sports. Both, Core Sports they're throwing their hat into the ring big time in that one. Really assisted Engin with that one. Is this the golden age of arm wrestling? I don't know. It's what it is a unique time in arm wrestling. I think there's been a few emergencies. I've got to say, when the WAL were kicking in was pretty bloody hot as well for that couple of years pre-pandemic. Yeah. And to be fair to the WAL, I know what that was planned just before the pandemic hit, and that was a travesty. Let me tell you right now, that'll never be known by people. But for those of us that were on the inner circle, absolute travesty. It really was, because that was coming back big. Let me tell you now, is what it is. But yeah, so the second part of that, he just put, is this a golden age of arm wrestling? If not, when was? How does the sport top or kick on? From Devon versus Lamar. Well, that will segue into one of the things I want to talk about tonight, guys, really, because the question about the entertainment factor and the importance of some of these guys is pretty pertinent, and we'll build on that in a moment. But first of all, Henry Bowerslow, he's put John Terrian is a gem. Put that guy on Arm Wars. Mate, I agree 100%. I fucking love that dude. I did not know John Terrian. John sent me some stuff over. There's a couple of guys I was really impressed with on those. Not going to sort of let any cats out of any bags right now. But what I will say is I absolutely agree with what you just said. I think he's ace. Tell us with another super chat. He's put, got the name right, mate. Thank God. Thanks, mate. I'm glad I did, because it's bloody awful when somebody murders your name like that. It's not good at all. So also, have you all heard of Bill C-11? It's a new bill restricting Canadians' ability to post online to anyone else but Canadians. Really? Could change things for Devon and all. What the is that a thing?
It's very serious for us, like to the point where like a guy like me just might be done, because we'll end up getting shadow banned because our.
It's called VPN.
Okay, so here's how it works. In Canada, they already have complete control over radio and TV and like news affiliates, right? So you have to have a certain quotient of Canadian approved content on your channel. Okay. What? And if you don't have that, you don't get the government benefit, or you don't get to be a part of it. And then what they want to do is put all YouTubers from Canada under those same rules. So if my content is not Canadian enough, and they don't give us the rules about what's Canadian enough, of course, then we'll get pushed to the bottom of the list. Our stuff won't be shown, or we just won't be paid, because Canada, the government, Trudeau, will then control the algorithm.
This is on small channels.
Everybody will be affected.
For real. That's legit.
Yes, there's YouTubers in Parliament right now losing their minds about this.
That's
what that is like freaking ultra communist crazy bullshit. Whoa, that's correct. Oh wow.
And that this is wait, just a minute. Is this past or is this
No,
just
it's not passed yet. It's not passed.
Surely that ain't going to get passed.
Oh, it's Canada. They do shit like this all the time.
Wow.
Canada does not like
freedom.
freedom. Let me be clear. Most of Canada does not care for. It's not like America. It is not.
Canadians are cool as balls. Some of my favorite people are I absolutely rate Canadians.
Yeah, well,
seriously,
John,
I've had amazing times in Canada. It's awesome as frig. I mean,
that's crazy.
I'm amazed.
You know, maybe nothing comes of it, but it will be from what I've seen and heard is that it will affect all internet transactions of media.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
like you're going back to America, John.
maybe.
Back to Minnesota. Wow.
No, it won't be Minnesota. I'll go somewhere warm.
Oh, mate, you got to go California all day.
Probably.
Monterey Bay is where you need to be. It's maybe the coolest place I've ever. Oh my God, Monterey Bay is amazing. Anyway, let's not get off topic. Right, here we go. Let's knock over. Holy shit, Marcus Thompson's coming. Marcus Thompson, don't play a game. Marcus, you're the man. Another monstrous super chat. Thanks, mates. But I hope Devon doesn't need that old evil woman from Bedtime Stories to appear asking for 11. Asking for his suit back. Congrats, Ray, on partnering the god of art. Hey, I don't know about that. And partnering my fat ass over in Dubai. I'm looking forward to it massively, Marcus. I'm looking forward to being over there, just being back in the mix. I would have been. You couldn't do this remotely. You know what I mean? It just.
No.
Trying to do it right, but there's been, bless them, there's been too many issues with trying to do that. It made it very difficult. I mean, you guys won't know, but a couple of the ones that I did, I couldn't hear what was going on at all. I couldn't hear the guy speaking. There was no audio for us. So myself and Mike couldn't hear anything from the table. We didn't know when.
We know who was breathing. We've had all sorts of denials on that.
Well, one thing I'll say in Mike Todd's defense is, hey, listen, I don't know, but what I'll say is this. I did have, this is a fact, I didn't have the noise from the studio. So I couldn't, myself and Mike couldn't hear a damn thing that was going on at the venue. But I could hear Mike clear as a bell, and I couldn't hear any breathing. And that is true. That's just unbiasedly what was going on. I couldn't hear anything from Michael, and I couldn't hear the venue. But when I listened it back, god damn, I could hear the breathing.
Yeah, it's famous now. Mike's breathing is famous. Like, even if it's not Mike, I don't know who's it's Mike's breathing as the internet's concerned.
But on the night, I couldn't hear any of that, and I couldn't hear what was going on at the venue. So it was quite just a strange set of criteria. Really, really weird. But anyway, enough of it. Marcus, thanks for your super chat, mate. That was amazing, and we've got more that are coming in. So let me just.
12 hours.
Hey, we've got a number of chats that have just come through here on the email. So those guys that have just sent those through on the email, oh my God, the last guy that's just sent that on the email, dude, come on. We're having a laugh with Ryan, but I ain't reading that one, so that's not on. Leave it out.
Super chat, did I miss something offensive or what? Or is it?
No, some guys just sent me an email to taking the piss of that. Come on, guys, for that person there, that is a bit over the top, mate. We're having a laugh with Ryan. We're not trying to give him grief here. Ease back, son. You know. Right. Let's have a look. That threw me a bit, that one. Sorry, guys. Some people really do get like bashing about stuff, don't they? And it's like, bloody hell, steady on. White Wolf with a super chat. In the spirit of Matt Mask, what the feck is up, you hosers? 0 swear-free zone here on Neil's show. Ray is the best pussy of the entire Fix crew. Mate, the White Wolf in the house. That's another guy.
Did you guys see the remix of Matt Mask swearing?
Yeah.
Matt Mask is one of the true.
Devon shared it on his Facebook. Looking for the link.
One of his best ever swears had to be that when he was pulling Perone in the WAL. You know, and I love you, but I fucking hate you. Remember that? That was just a cracking one-liner. Carolyn Looms with a super chat. Ryan,
Will you use a riser to arm wrestle Ray?
No, I won't. Ray's. If I used a riser to arm wrestle Ray, it just I'd have to pan the camera back to get us both in there or something. I don't know. Ray's. I'm on a riser just because I'm against Ray. Straight up, can't help it.
6'1.5" versus Ray. What you at, mate?
What are you, honestly, Ray?
About 5'9".
No, 5'7", but it's close to 5'8", and you sometimes have to think about like it's closer to 5'9" than 5'7", so maybe pretty much 6'2".
6'3" We'll call it 6'8".
5'7". I'm
Hey.
5'7".
Okay.
Just because I have a 200-centimeter hand.
Yes. Oh.
That reminds me of my wedding night when my missus was like, how big is that? And I went, let's call it
Sizable.
we left it. Now then, this is the kind. Now here we go. We've had a few people coming here with odd emails and super chats. I'm going to grant you that. But here we've got somebody of real class who's coming with a comment here, and this is a classy comment from a classy person. This is from Dr. Alex. Now I'm going to have a little practice on this. I'm going to go with Stavrianadakis, which I hope is right. But Dr. Alex here, just saying hello to the four of you guys and just giving you some support. Thanks for the content. Mate, that is a very, very classy comment, particularly on this channel, Dr. Alex. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Great to have you tuning in, checking out the show. And yeah, hope you're enjoying it, brother. Good comment. Whoa, Sean Brophy. Flying in. Mate, another massive super chat. Thanks, brother. That's Iron Dick. He's put, with Neil on the mic and Devon on the stage, this will be a repeat of 2008. Hashtag no limits. Now, John, I want to bring you in at this point before we knock any more of these over. You're the guy on here that regularly is looking at the polls. You're regularly looking at the betting. Is the shift continuing where people are really liking Devon's chances here?
Yeah, I mean, from the general community, from the polls that we see, from the betting on a win one match to win it all, yes, I still see that it's very Devon dominated. But does that reflect reality?
Well,
I mean, of course, Devon's going to win 6-0, but a real reality.
Yeah, but you think he's going to get the one, don't you?
I do think he's going to get the one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. You think he's
For
going to get the one?
I think he's going to get the one. That can be on fouls.
It bloody can be on fouls. I mean, what was interesting tonight? Let's talk about guys who, know their stuff big time. And whether you're a fan of Engin Terzi or not a fan of Engin Terzi, you cannot deny that Engin Terzi is beyond belief experienced, utterly and completely obsessed with the sport, knows his way around arm wrestling, the ins and outs, one of the most knowledgeable guys in the game. And he's on with Ray tonight, and he says to Ray, well, I really believe that Devon has progressed an enormous amount in the build-up to the match, and I see him as being extremely dangerous in this match. I think he has a real shot in this match. Now, that was interesting. Mm-hmm. That was interesting because I know how highly Devon rates Engin's opinion. I also know how highly Engin rates Levin. How hard to beat he believes that man is. And the fact that Engin came out with that tonight and was sort of second guessing himself a little bit. I need to catch up with Engin, not necessarily on camera. Maybe we come on and do a live, but I'd like to just discuss that with him and see where his head's at on this and where he believes this thing's going to go down. See what I'm going to do. I'm commentating the match, so I've got to, and I'm going to observe a degree of neutrality on this because I think that's only right for the lads, and it's out of respect alone. And I'm going to call the match unbiasedly, and I am going to make some predictions. But I'm going to record them before the match. See, just for my own purposes, I'm going to record what I think is going to happen, and we'll see. We'll see whether I'm anywhere near accurate or not. But I'll record it before, do something to sort of prove the date and so on, maybe get somebody else to shoot it. And we'll see. Because the one thing I would say about this whole thing is, right, wrong, or indifferent, a lot of this stuff is supposition. You try to follow a trail of breadcrumbs that you believe is a set of criteria that are going to lead to a scenario that'll play out at the table.
But small things can make a massive difference in this kind of, anything with this kind of temperature, this kind of environment where you get so much pressure, so much clear emotion. And I feel like because of the significance and the magnitude of this match, one of the things that's going to be interesting is how much of that carries over into these guys when they get to Dubai. I wonder about the whole thing with Levon's approach, staying away from the banter. The fact that he's sort of chosen to put himself outside of that, blinkers on, and go a bit Steve Collins. He just doesn't want to engage in it. That's made Devon's job hard because it's difficult to sort of, and I don't mean just from a promotional aspect. It's very, very hard. I feel like I know that Devon is very, very focused on the essential criteria of the match and trying to promote the match to the best of his ability. I don't know whether any of you guys have spoken to Devon individually. I have at length, and he's really spoken about that a lot. And obviously, Devon's very tuned into that. He's trying to get the thing to be as appealing as he can to the widest possible audience. And whether we as arm wrestlers believe it or not, there's a lot of necessity there, because for a casual observer, the sport on its own isn't big enough. It just isn't. I love arm wrestling, but it doesn't carry enough clout. You've got to have a way of buying people into it. You've got to have something that carries them along and makes them care about the result. And I know that Devon is very focused on that. And he appreciates the back and forth, the banter, to try and build that wave and build that momentum. And obviously that's made very difficult if your adversary and opponent is not engaging in that. But also if you say, oh, bullshit, and you're just not a Devon fan, and you say the only reason he's doing that is to gain some kind of advantage at the table, strategically, mentally chip away at Levon, then it cocks that up too, doesn't it? Because if the guy's not engaging, he's not getting involved, and he's not reading social media, giving any adherence to that at all, he's just not bothered. He's switching off from that. He's keeping away. He's keeping out of it. And he doesn't want to engage in that whatsoever. He's just going to show up at the table, be respectful to a degree, do the job, and go home, you know, which has been effective for some people. I feel like Toddzilla does a little bit of that. He keeps himself quiet. I've heard a number of people say recently at the matches he's been taking a certain approach where he'll roll into the thing 20 minutes before it kicks off with his hood pulled up, throw his bag on the floor, take his hoodie off, crack somebody, and he buggers off again. And he's on a tear right now. I mean, you've seen it up close and personal a couple of times, Ray.
Yep.
Very recently.
Yep.
So I want to ask you this question on the whole basis of the entertainers. And for those of you who've sent super chats, don't worry, we will knock some of those over again in a minute. I'm just conscious of keeping the flow of the show a little. I wanted to ask you individually, and we'll start probably with Ray. If that is the future of the sport, is that a negative thing or a positive thing for most people? Forget sort of individually, forget the passion of the fan. For the furtherment of the sport, is that a problem? If the champions and the dominant forces in the game are the strong silent type, do we need Travis Bajan? Do we need Jeff Hale, Devon Larratt? Do we need the outspoken, gregarious, or certainly just someone who really articulates themselves, takes you on that journey and allows you in? Or are we fascinated by the dark, moody, quiet, restrained individual who just shows up, does a job in devastating, visceral fashion, and he's gone, and you there's an air of mystery about him? What appeals to people most?
I think there's room for both. So, you know, looking at this match, Devon is, you know, being Devon. Nothing changes. And he kind of, when the match was announced, everyone was like, oh, Levon's going to destroy him. No, why would you even make this match? Doesn't make any sense. And then he like literally left the chat. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, the public is like, you know, maybe he's afraid, maybe something's happening. And it grew bigger and bigger and bigger. So I think there's room for both. And I think only thing you need to be is genuine. You know, you are how you are. You know, you're a dick, you're a dick. If you're a nice guy, you're a nice guy. You're silent, you're silent. If you're genuine, people will understand that, and that can carry a match. Like Tadzilla doesn't need to talk, or you know, he does some of his funny videos, and then he comes in, you know, sweating like hell and just destroying people. You don't need anything else from that. And that's the mystique behind it. So I think there's place for everything. The problem would be when everyone is the same, when everyone wants to be McGregor, when everyone wants to be George St. Pierre. So we have different characters. Problem in arm wrestling world is still the language. If we all spoke one language or at least understood each other, you know, that would make better conversations. Even in East versus West, when I have to translate, it doesn't, a lot of things doesn't translate from both sides. Mm-hmm. So it's very hard to make entertaining conversations happen because it doesn't, you know, when both of the guys speak English, easy, no problem. So if we can fix the language barrier, it doesn't matter what people do, you know. I think you can have two guys that are respectful, but of course it's better when one is the thunder, you know, another one is like clear weather. You know?
Yeah. Do you feel like these situations work well when you do have yin and yang, when you do have the quiet man versus the gregarious, outspoken? I mean, in the days of Travis, when Travis was the biggest name in the game, from a, you know, for if you wanted a, and I'm still going to say now, the best of Travis from a character perspective, from a charisma perspective, he was magnificent. He was magnificent. The guy would bravely stand up there and smack talk the living dead. And the guy's natural charisma is off the scale. He's mega, mega.
Like for him, I think sometimes when both guys are kind of engaging, it can go from sport to being really disrespectful and kind of going into personal. When one is talking and other one is just listening, I feel like that's the best that works. Like looking at this situation, it kind of worked out perfectly. The interest has peaked. It's incredible, especially when everyone's waiting for Levant just to say something, post something. He posts a picture, internet explodes. Devon posts a video, you know, saying he's Georgian king. So I think it works either way. The problem is when everyone is the same. And, you know, when everyone's trying to be or pretends to be something they're not, I don't think that will really work, you know. You know, like me and Artem, we had fun back and forth, and I think people love that because it was fun. It was, you know, jokes and everything else. Even when we were there, I was doing interview with Jody, and I was cracking up, and it's kind of peak interest. But when it's time to show up, both of us showed up for the match, you know?
Yeah. John, what's your take on it, mate?
I don't disagree with anything Ray is saying. I just think there needs to be a major focus on, you have to give people something to hitch their wagon to. Whether you are the crazy guy, whether you are the strong silent type, you have to, if we want the sport to grow, which is my main concern, right? That's my main thing, is I want more people. I want to bring more people in. I'm not as concerned about the people who are already here. Mm-hmm. They already know what they like. I want to grab people from outside of our sport and bring them in and make us bigger. In order to do that, I believe really, really, whatever your shtick is, you have to do something, right? You have to do something. And I just wish Levin did more. That's what I wish. I want to see more of Levin. I want, you know, and it doesn't have to be Levin versus Devon before the match, but I need to see him do something.
But that's why you pay attention, I think. You're paying attention because you want him to do something more. You're going to pay more attention when they're both going to be in Dubai. So
you mean like Willie Snap?
Yes.
You mean like the, you know, oh, it's going to get to a point.
Yeah, and you're going to pay attention. You're like, okay, they're going to be together there. You know, where can I see it? And you pay attention because you want to see it. And when he doesn't post, it kind of makes it better, you know?
When he did, Ray, tell me this. When he doesn't post, how do new people find out about him?
The silent types only work if somebody else is doing
legend,
holding them up for them. Like
Bowen.
Yeah, so Devon's holding up Levan's story. Like we've all held up Danny Tesh's story, and Danny's never said a fucking word. But we've held up his story. So if the silent type's not going to do it, a promoter, a commentator, or his opponent has to somehow do it for him. So during the early dark days of the sport growing, you'd need like more valuable than anyone else is the talker, because without if there's all silent types, the sport ain't growing at all. So the talkers have got the ball rolling. The silent types, I do agree with you, Ray, that it is a fascinating contrast as Neil is frozen there in time as he's still ordering Danny Tesh.
Paying homage to Danny Tesh.
but I'm sorry. I think I'm obviously in the talker category. I think the silent types suck because I don't think they're brave. I think I think the talkers are willing to put their ass on the line a little bit more. They say what they think they can do, and they cop the heat if they lose. With a silent type, they're nervous if they don't say that they think they're going to win and they lose. There's no backlash. So they are a big bunch of Georgian cats.
I kind of agree with a lot of the points that were in there. I think the interesting thing is where John was saying, look, everybody, I want the sport to grow. Yeah. And I think if you boil it down, does Levon want the sport to grow? Hell yes. Does Devon want a sport to grow? Hell yes. But we've got to be mindful and appreciative of the fact that these guys are coming up in different cultures. They're coming up in different places. And I think there is something lost in translation. Obviously, we've seen cultural examples of that many, many times in fight sports. Nurmagomedov and Conor was a pretty good example of that. We've seen that kind of thing a lot of times. But it's whether people really need the back and forth. And would it be as easy to do with a guy like Levin who isn't confident in English? Does he potentially feel a little bit out of his depth and uncomfortable discussing that kind of thing in the English language, which, to be fair to the lad, isn't his native tongue, against a guy that's very adept at doing that with people who are from North America, from England, from Canada, you don't give a shit where you're from. Devon will talk it up and love that. So it's almost, it's a very engaging question as to what people care about most. I'm going to try my best. And I don't know. What I'm going to do is be respectful of the guys and the environment they're in and the fact that there are going to be nerves and there are going to be pressures that we aren't aware of. But I'm going to try and get to catch up with Levon and Devon when we're in Dubai. Days out from the match leading up there and just get another bit of time with them and see where they're at. Because I'm conscious of the fact that, whoa, ladies and gents, be careful what you wish for.
Rival.
Uh-oh.
Here he is.
Oh, hey,
Champ!
what's happening? Let me put you on full screen so I can see you all.
Now then, big balls, how's it hanging? Let me, before we get in, and ladies and gents, Devon Larratt just jumped in. We'll get to that in one moment. I'm just going to knock over some of these super chats that have come in so we can clear the base through and talk through some of this stuff. So Sean Brophy, thank you, enormous super chat just come in there. He's put, Ray, you can't compare MMA and arm wrestling. There is not enough eyes on the sport at this point in time. Arm wrestlers need to engage to grab the general public and grow the sport. Sean, thanks for it. Ray, do you want to take that on, mate?
Yeah, well, of course I agree, but I think in this situation, you will not see Levin going out and talking or doing anything. It's like Neil said, it's cultural difference. It's all those different things, and yeah, Devon is doing most of the talking here. But I think, again, the mystique to a match, there is it, and Devon has changed the whole perspective of the match just by being Devon. So I don't know. I'm not saying we have to be like MMA. We're sure going that route, but you will never have everyone being the same. It's impossible,
Let's just knock over these. So Adam C. Tensky's put, John's not lying. It's going to be everywhere in some form. Look into ESG, the Great Reset, and Common Core Education. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate your super chat. Be a man going. Evan's in the chat. And he's put, Devon will lose to Levon as bad as Ryan will lose to Ray. Nothing like a teammate that backs you.
We're in for a good day.
What a dick.
What a dick, eh? Tell you what, it's like that time he talked about Alan Ford messing with me. Bomb. Here we go.
Yeah, nothing good to say.
I love Adam Ford. He's a good dude. Bell Powers. He's put, yes, John Terrian is great, but he didn't look very good at the last Alberta tournament. Oof.
Because he pulled left hand.
Is that what it was?
He doesn't
Okay.
have a good
Didn't
left
you
hand
just
with his
win?
right
Didn't you
is
just crush a
phenomenal.
dude?
Weaponized that comment there, didn't you, John? So, White Wolf, he's put, gotta say, Neil, there was a collective sigh of relief when you all heard you were going to be commentator of King of the Table 4. In the future, how would you promote a match of this or any scale? Mate, we're going to get onto that in a big way now that Devon's jumped on, because no better person to ask than the man who's actually involved in it himself. So I'm literally going to throw him that exact question, hang fire, and we'll answer that in more detail. Silky Wilkies, but Michael's breathing was akin to humorous commentating. I don't know when I'm going to pin that on Mike. It was
It's
weird.
definitely Mike.
You've got it as Mike, haven't you? You're like
100%.
110%.
It's 100% Mike.
The weird thing is, why could I not hear it?
I don't know.
That's the one.
But that doesn't detract from the fact that it was Mike.
It was
Either way,
100%
it's Mike.
Mike.
Okay, we'll agree it's Mike.
100% Mike.
100%. It's
100%.
100% Mike.
Yes, he's gone down the Bowen route. This.
I mean, did you ever watch the Michael's Lullaby?
Yeah.
Where you've done one on that? No, send me that.
Oh, it's on my YouTube somewhere. If you type in.
Oh
Michael's
shit! Was it
Lullaby.
the hour of just
It's
an
like an hour long. It's a
I
bedtime
did, mate. I did. I got like
Yeah.
10 minutes in. I thought,
Yeah, did you fall asleep?
amazing. White
Yeah.
noise, son. Loved it.
Yeah.
David Toms with a super chat. But who will be the referee for Devon versus Levin, please? It will be Bill Collins of the United States of America. And may God be with him. Holy shit. That is that's a ballsy move. But nobody better for the role than Bill. He's got massive experience.
Yeah, you got to control that Levon guy. He's out of control.
It's gonna be hard
Oh,
work, isn't he?
It's higher webbing bullshit he's always trying to do.
He's a
He's got to
cheater.
stop. 5
So-
minute setups. I don't want any. I want a fair grip, fair
Just
start.
no
much like-
nonsense.
No nonsense.
Just do
If
it
I
by the
start to get-
rules.
Just follow the rules. Just follow the rules.
So one straight for you. Penguin Turdsy with a super chat for Devon. He's put, Devon, what's your walkout song going to be?
That's a secret, but it's a good one.
Oh
It's-
my God, I thought of one then. I will talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You might. It's a good one. I'm pretty happy with it. I've been thinking. I love walkout songs. Walkout songs mean a lot to me. I normally train to my walkout song for a lot, and I've been stuck on this one. Where do I go? And then the other day it just hit me, and I'm like,
that's
oh
the
yeah,
one.
that's the one.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I hope this
there we
match
go.
actually happens. So Silky Wilkie with a super chat. But Devon is laying almost perfectly horizontal. He must be gaining power at a cosmic rate.
I just got back from the sushi joint. Just did my workout, and now it's moments before I pass out. So I thought I'd spend some time with you, lovely gentlemen. Yeah.
How
mate,
big is your head right now?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
circumference of head.
I went to measure it, and it just said full. Like when Bloat Lord gets on the scale,
Yes.
full,
Yeah.
full
Full.
head.
That's the only thing you want in life. You want to be full.
Oh yeah.
Did you crack 300?
Yeah. I wish it was that easy. And believe me, I've tried. Believe me, it's been my goal to get as fucking huge as possible. Basically my whole life. And these last 2 years, I've really gone for it.
Mm.
And the truth is I'm a 255, 50-pound dude at this age who's really, really pushing. And I woke up this morning 278. So I will be the biggest I've been. I'm very confident of that I will be the biggest I've been in for competition, but maybe by a pound or two. Maybe.
How much does it matter, Devon?
That doesn't matter. Weight classes don't matter.
Yeah, but do you feel like the optimum is where you're at now? I mean, let's be honest. If you're talking about just weight, or would you go into there fit, healthy, everything working, everything firing? Where's that at? How do you feel?
I would like to be a fit, healthy 400-pound dude. That would be perfect.
With a massive head. Yeah.
humongous.
You could headbutt a yak.
That would be perfect. If I could be bigger, leaner, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that it doesn't always work like that. It only goes so quick. Even if you're eating and doing everything, it's not magic.
And when you stop pushing on, how quickly will the weight come off you?
Well,
just naturally.
It's not a science where I can just say this is going to happen. I'm quite dry actually still. Like I'm not really all that watery this time.
No, you look vascular as hell. When you were, the pictures that went up with your.
So I don't know that I'll lose a ton. I might settle down a bit for sure. I'm sure I'll lose 5 to 10 pounds maybe, but that might be it. Yeah.
So Devon,
I'd love to. Can I slip in a question here, Neil?
Yeah.
Devon, I'd love to know, man. As you get closer to this match, are you everyone's perceiving it as though this is the biggest match ever? Are you feeling that? And how is that making you feel as you approach this match? And it's close.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Yeah.
Does it feel bigger than Dennis?
Oh, way bigger.
Well, it's the real arm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right hand, and I feel like in no way is this rushed or forced. The Dennis match was kind of like, there were a lot of concessions that were made, just because I felt like, certainly on my end, I was just so frustrated by not having the match, and finally having an opportunity to pull him, I just agreed. I am so ready. Oh my God, I'm so ready. Like in 2017, I began the journey to try and reclaim the super heavyweight title. So that was 5 years I've been shooting for this match. And in 2020, I started only training my right hand. So it's like 2.5 years. And I've seen this. I mean, Levon has been the man for years. So I've known that this is the end boss.
Yeah.
After Michael, I knew this match was inevitable. I knew it. It's just when. It's like, but no, this match, there's no excuses. I feel incredible. I'm the number one guy from the West. He's the number one guy. Definitely from the East, but in the world potentially. It's a undisputed championship match for the world. And I'm going to kill him. And I'm so excited about it.
Does it feel very different from the first time, mate, when you went for the tilt when you were against John? Because I know the guy that I met there when you were coming out of the airport, and you had that bristling confidence where you went,
yeah, well, this is very different. I mean, the sport has come, I don't see it the same as all the athletes do that have been around a long time. I hear a lot of the older athletes and the guys who've been around, my generation say, oh, not much has changed. The same. No, there's a
lot's changed. Holy
there's shit. A lot that's changed.
Lots changed.
The sport has grown so much in depth, in level, in fan base, focus, in money, it's not the same sport anymore. The days of a 200-pound, 240-pound man, having a shot at the super heavyweight world title they would be so difficult to do now. There's too many dudes who are like 6'8", 300, 400 pounds. It's not the same sport.
And athletes.
Yeah, and
it's
they
the
know
era of the giant athlete.
Yeah, they know, and everybody knows how to arm wrestle. You take any one of those guys in the top 8 or the top of the WL, they arm wrestle better than everybody did 15 years ago. Than everybody. Like, they're all fucking technical geniuses now compared to the 2000s and prior era. That's my belief. That's what I believe. Yeah.
I would agree with sort of 80% of that. I think that there's a temperance there. I always think there was basically, I think that you're right on the depth. I think that's the thing. I think there was always a layer of elite, excellent arm wrestlers, and that hasn't changed a great deal. But I do think now there's just much more of them. So you can't help but it raise the bar, because obviously iron sharpens iron, the transference of knowledge, what we're talking about here, the fact that guys, you know, I mean, Christ, look at Race Channel, for God's sake. I'd go on, if I started pulling again, I'd go on Race Channel just to spec myself back up.
Exactly.
I'll just, you know what, I'll retrace my steps. I'll go on there and I'll boil it down. I'll start again and I'll build myself back up. I would full on do that.
There's so many guys that I meet and I get on the table with them and I'm like, oh, they're pulling pretty good. I'm like, they got a good top roll. They're working all the right angles. I'm like, not bad. I'm like, how long you been pulling? They're like, first practice. I'm like,
yeah.
They're like, but I've been doing all the exercises. I've been on the YouTube channels. I've been watching. I know all the moves. And the thing is, people come into the sport at just a different level now. It's not the same. Yeah. So yeah, it's a huge match, man. It's a huge match, and I'm nervous. I'm excited. I've done all I can. Done everything.
In what measure? Nervous and excited.
Oh man, and this is a cataclysmic event for me.
Are you having the sort of roller coaster emotion thing?
It's like I'm having like octuplets and I'm a mother.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna give birth to my entire family right here. And they're all either gonna die and I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna have a beautiful family.
Yeah.
It's like that's my day.
One day you're on top of a Swiss Alp playing a horn and it's like perfect.
Or all my babies died.
Yeah, or all my babies were just eaten by a T-Rex. Yeah.
Just imagining the thumbnail now. Someone's making it already.
Dad.
Devon, do you think there's more pressure on you or more pressure on Levon at this point?
Well, what I've learned, you know, life is about growth, you know, like, and us on here, arm wrestling is one of our tools for growth. You know, like we grow, we learn about ourselves through this process of tempering ourselves to perform in our sport. And what I have discovered is that in terms of pressure, Levon is actually a pussy. He actually is. That's what's a little bit sad for me, is I said he was, not really meaning it, but I've actually discovered that he really actually is. The dude, that it actually makes me a little bit sick. It really does. That a man can be so big and so strong and such a wussy. Like, how do you, and I see so much stuff. I see so much stuff about people saying things like they're facts. Do you know who knows the facts? Me, Levon, his translator, the promoters. That's it. Anytime you ever hear something else, it's very likely bullshit. That dude is the kid, the spoiled kid who took his ball back and he was run away. It's like he didn't get the right piece of cake and he's crying to his mom. And the worst thing is his fans are like, oh, you're right, Levon. You should have this piece of cake. You know, no. That dude is a crybaby and he's a sissy. Yes, he's a hell of an arm wrestler. Hell of an arm wrestler. But yeah, I'm pissed at him. I am.
Do you think that there's some of that is, I mean, people have been saying, oh, you know, and obviously the guys who would support you are on your coattails, they're riding this thing all the way in, and there's been a shift. There's been a real wind of confidence that started to get behind you, and you're building momentum in that respect. Do you feel like the fact that your popularity and notoriety online would be potentially problematic for someone who's not used to that? Because the guys that follow you, the people that are backing you, your fans, they are passionate. These are people that are really going to push on, and they'll be dropping into people's channels, dropping onto their bloody messages and giving them abuse, giving them stick. So a guy that's not used to that, if Devon's not used to that and he doesn't deal with it well, and some people don't, do you think that's what made him feel, you know what, I'm not engaging in this, I'm keeping away?
Well, whatever it was, he did it before any of that stuff started. Okay? He actually freaked out and got angry before any of it started. Okay, he freaked out. There's all this stuff about, oh, they were calling me to discuss the rules because the rules weren't set. That's not true. What exactly happened was King of the Table 3, the rules changed the day before the fucking event. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I can't believe that this happened. As an athlete, I would have freaked out. But I was kind of involved because of armbat, right? We had to cancel all the stakes, as I'm sure you guys probably remember, because of the rule change. I'm like, you can't have bets. You can't have stakes that change, when the rules are changed, it influences people's decision making. So right away, I'm on the phone with the promoters, and I'm like, guys, I'm like, if the rules are going to change like this, we have to talk about it now, okay? For the stakers and for myself as an athlete, I've signed a contract. Levon signed a contract, and not only did we sign a contract, we went over the rules. Okay, this is not just the 2.2. We discussed rules. Everybody was in agreement. Okay, and if somebody says that it's not the truth, they're lying. Okay, and I can bring this up in front of any promoter who was involved, and you'll see what the truth is. Okay, so I'm like, we need to jump on a call right now with Levon to make sure that everyone understands that everything's cool, so that we can go ahead with, so we don't have to deal with this stuff the day before
just
the event.
removal of any ambiguity around.
Right. It was not to like go over like the rules after the contract was already signed. Anyways, it was at that point, it was on that phone call that he became angry. He hung up, he removed himself from the chat, and he told his translator that he didn't want to speak anymore, and the next time he saw me, he was going to be on the table, and he ripped my arm off. That's the truth. And believe me, if you can't handle being called a pussy for doing that, then you are a pussy. That's what you are. I don't care if you're 415 pounds and you're big bad dude. You are a pussy. That's what you are. So, here I am stuck, what the fuck do I do with this guy?
How difficult has it been? We were talking right before you. I don't know whether you managed to catch any of your show, because I know you were out eating and stuff. But from when we talked earlier, but if you're going into a match like this, and you've been in a few biggies recently, obviously you and Mike get on it and you bounce things about. Yourself and John, you got into that. There was a lot of back and forth. I know that you guys are all friends before and after the match, but it has got heated. It has got passionate before. But the guys have always engaged in it. There's been that back and forth. There's been that acceptance of sort of that from a cultural perspective.
Right.
Has this made your life harder to sort of promote this thing, to push it? Have you felt that? Has it pissed you off, for want of a better word?
Yeah, to me, it's just a bit of a lost opportunity. Like, I just know. I look at analytics. I look at what people pay attention to just a little bit. I'm not that tuned in, but I know that people actually care more about the story and the lead up and the drama than they actually do the match. I'm sorry, it's the truth.
Literally just
unfortunately, and it's not just for arm wrestling. We're not unique. We're not special. It's the truth to every single sport. If you got guys who legit like have back and forth meaningful dialogue, and it doesn't have to be people yelling at each other, just any kind of back and forth where the fans can start to be like, okay, this guy's this guy stands for this, I'm more like this guy, I hate this guy, then it's growth,
something that allows them to really emote. They got to get in there and they got to get on that bandwagon.
Growth. It's growth. When you look at legendary moments in sports, there's sporting moments that will live forever. There is also sporting stories that live forever. There's sporting trash talks that live forever. If you got rid of every single thing that Muhammad Ali ever said in a press conference,
God, yes.
What Muhammad Ali story are you looking at?
Mate, the Thriller in Manila, the Rumble in the Jungle. These are all
Right.
yeah, and how many docudrama films you see now where it charts that, and now, 40 years later, people are still massively engaged in this stuff. Where
And
they
Muhammad
want to
Ali
know the
is a
backstory.
hell of a boxer, and ultimately, it's because he's such a good boxer that it really matters. But like, we cannot undervalue the discussion, the lead up, the back and forth. Anyways, look, Levon's a young man. He's 33. I remember I was actually 33 when I pulled Dave Randall. Actually, I was 34. And I just wanted to pull him. And they proposed a 2 out of 3, and I said yes. I said, yeah, let's do it. I started getting nervous. Before the match. I tried to change the agreement. I was like, hey, like, the standard's kind of 6 for world defense. I'm like, we should make it 6. And I got hammered. I got fucking hammered on the Northeast board. They're like, you fucking pussy, change the agreement. I'm like, you know what? You're right. My bad. 2 out of 3. My bad. So I'm hoping that Levon will take whatever. He might not get it before the match. Maybe he'll turn, maybe he'll have like an epiphany or something. But I'm hoping that after a month or so, it's growth for him. That's what I hope.
What is the situation? What is the situation with the rules now?
It's King of the Table 2 rules. That's the thing. That's the agreement. That's the contract. I said, listen. And the thing is, people are like, oh, it's Devon rules. Fuck. They invented the set grip to stop me from getting a grip. Travis invented the set grip basically to stop me from doing WAF setups, because WAF setup for me is where I can get my grip, I can work the grip. Set grip takes so much of that away. To say that this is my rules is comical to me. It's the rules that I signed the agreement for. We signed King of the Table 2 rules. And I told him, I said, you want to change the rules? Fine, no problem. Let's renegotiate. No problem. Send me a new contract. Let's do it. But he was like, fine, I'll do it, whatever. So it is King of the Table 2 rules.
I think one of the things that people are starting to talk about and think about, Devon, is that first moment when you see Levin in the flesh, when you guys first see each other. Because a lot of people believe that all of this is nonsense. It's all hype. It's all just a joke. What's going to happen?
People think I'm lying about everything. People think I lie about my weight. People think that everything I say is a lie. A lot of it is a lie. I'm a terrible person. But there's a lot of truth to what I say too.
Devon will show up 450.
Half the lies you tell aren't true.
Right? No, my weight, I'm not lying about my weight at all this time. I did with Michael. I knew that would mess with him, but I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know. Listen, I've heard all sorts of stuff. I heard he wants to hurt me. I've heard, like, the thing is, you talk about rules, like, and borders, like, okay, he's like, well, in my culture, you don't call someone a pussy. That's crossing the line. Motherfucker, you don't fucking casually give someone death threats in my culture, okay? That's something that I'm not really cool with. Like, you can call me a pussy, sure, whatever, we can talk about it. You start to say that people get killed for something, yeah, I got issues there. I got some serious issues with anyone casually mentioning that they want to kill me. So yeah, we'll see if he wants to kill me. We'll see if he wants to hurt me, because if any of those things are true, this is going to change in a hurry. Like, it's going to change in a freaking hurry. I'm assuming that a lot of that is just talk, and that maybe there's something culturally that I'm not understanding. Like, maybe in Georgia, it's cool to tell people you're going to kill them. Maybe they're like, I don't know, maybe that's pussy talk for us. But dude, in Canada, we don't really tell each other that we're going to kill people, especially people that we're not really close with. Like Jody tells me she's going to kill me probably every week or so, but here we are.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got some
Yeah.
interesting stats I'd love to share with you guys. When you first came on, Devon, I asked a bunch of polls, a bunch of questions, and I think I'm gonna ask these every day and chart it all. But the first one, who wins? At the moment, 51% Levon. Then I've asked of the currently 51% Levon. Then I asked who's there more pressure on? 79% Levon. Then I've said to the Levon believers, are you more nervous? Are you nervous or confident? 60% say confident. And same thing of the Devon believers, nervous or confident, 68% say confident. So it's an interesting situation right now.
It is interesting. I find stats fascinating, especially when the numbers of votes get high enough. And YouTube is crazy right now. Like you'll do polls and you'll get tens of thousands of people voting. Yeah. And you'll start to see that once like the first 1,000 votes or something on, the numbers actually become quite stable. It's quite shocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting how like you can definitely get like kind of a blend of where like the Borg mind kind of sits. It's quite interesting.
Here's one for you, mate. Obviously, when you came in, we see you talk your game up, which you talk your game down, you fly the strategy and you fly it to your advantage or otherwise. When you came in, you were saying, yeah, I am a massive underdog here. I'm going to work very hard and I get to a situation where I believe that I may be able to do something. And then you'll jokingly throw in, I'm going to kill this guy. And then he's going to kill me, let's be honest. And then, but I'm going to kill him though, but he's going to kill me. Has it changed? In terms of when you kicked off here, has your confidence gone into the ascendancy? Has the sort of sway of public opinion washed into you? Do you feel more confident now than you did?
The public opinion has nothing at all to do with how I feel about the match. I'm super aware who Levon is. I hold him way up. Like I really think that he is quite potentially the most powerful arm wrestler that's ever lived. I really do believe that. I also know that I'm not too bad myself, and I know that I'm in perfect condition, perfect. And I know that I'm probably the strongest I've been by some percentage points. And I've trained for him. Everything that I know about him, I've trained the rule set, and I've trained for him. So it's tough. It's tough to beat Levon. It's gonna take a freaking divine act. It just may be that I've managed to pull it off. My life has been very focused, very, very focused. It's the only thing I've done for months. See, like I'm just about to go to sleep. I'll wake up, I'll eat, I'll train, I'll go back to bed. I'll probably go for a walk. This is my life on repeat, just honing for less than 2 weeks now. It's like almost done. Yeah.
Tired of it?
Oh my God, I'm so ready to party. Seriously, I'm so ready to party. I haven't partied in like way too long. I've been like dialed right in. I'm in an Apollo training camp. I'm like, no happiness, only focus. It's like I'm so ready. I'm so ready to enjoy my summer. But I've been on point. I really have. The important parts of arm wrestling for me are quite refined. I don't feel people in practice, haven't in months, and that's local. I'll do my local circuit, and I'll train twice before practice, 2 super hard smoking sessions. Nobody, I don't feel anybody. So I'm good.
How's that affected your taper? You know, you talked about a long taper before, the benefit there.
It always changes. Yeah, it's tricky. Like you have to take what you know and adapt it to the situation. I think that it's important to define the task.
Yeah.
Right. So, and defining the task, you have to understand what energy systems, what are the durations, what are the critical strengths you want to hold on to during your taper. I've made my best guesses. It's hey, the thing, listen, I've done everything I can. I've done everything I can. I'm so excited. I'm glad you're commentating. It's going to be way
Mate,
better.
I am so pleased that I'm going up. Do you know what? Just being back in the mix, for real. It's all right, you know, doing stuff from remotely is one thing, but when you're in there and you can feel it and that's
yeah, and you bring some balance to Ray, because Ray's always like, you know, trying to talk me down, you know.
Yes, that's me. I always.
let's listen before we lose it again. Let's knock over some of these super chats that have come in. Quite a few that have come in for you, Devon, I think, here as well. So we'll fire through a couple of these. Let's have a look. Knock them over. Richie, he's put, thanks for your super chat, Richie. He's put, Devon, show us that giant pumpkin and let the Georgian have an ominous Halloween brought onto him. There it is right there, Richie. So here we go. Fart with a super chat. What's the fixed guest opinion that Engin didn't have Ryan in his list of greatest arm wrestlers by categories? He forgot Ryan is number one in his head, and Hans grows yearly in category.
So we had the talk with Engin, and Engin told me when I beat Ryan, he'll give me the crack at super heavyweight title because that's where I belong. Yeah. Then I'm coming for you, Devon. You know that, you know.
Yeah, be ready.
I can't wait. I think we should meet again in maybe we meet again in Norway.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do
that hotel at Stacks at Robert's gig.
Yeah, that's a great place.
Hardanger, yeah.
I'll come there. Here we go. Eric Mazur with a super chat. Breaking news, it's been confirmed that Lavan's walkout song is It's Raining Men. Holy shit.
That'd be great.
Penguin Turdsy with a super chat. But Lavan will be breathing heavier than MTT by round 2. You do get the feeling with a lot of Devon fans in here. Fart with another super chat. But Devon, please don't back down if Levin full Kings moves and gets in his face like a UFC fight. Please go all out.
Oh, if he Kings moves me?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Right, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
I can't imagine. I think Lavan will be looking to put you away quick. I think that'll be his game plan big time. I'm sure he's got respect for the endurance thing.
Imagine he comes in with a Kings move.
That'd be so cool.
I can imagine it. I can imagine it.
Well, you see it happening.
I can imagine it if it happens to be at 3-3, and like if it's 3-3, it's probably meant that Devon, you've come home with a wet sail, and you've got control of his fundamental position. Would he then say, "Fuck it, I'm going King's move as well"? Like that's the only time I can imagine it.
I think he'll go balls out. Yeah, in any scenario. I don't think this is massive pressure. Let's not kid ourselves. He'll want to win. Bad.
I haven't seen him King's move yet in competition.
We haven't seen Dave Chafee, but he went for it.
What are you talking about? No, he did.
When you in WL, mate.
No, it's like you brought it out. You brought it out of him.
Yeah.
He did it a little bit with Alex. A little bit. There was a little bit in there.
Mate, he's transitioned over to the dark side quite a bit. Yeah. There's been a lot more pronation going on Dave's pulling, but
I told Todd Hutchings that his evolution will be complete when he becomes a King's mover.
Holy shit. So Cole Cruz out with a super chat. He's put, Devon, I was on your StarCam chat rooting for you.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's an interesting platform.
What the hell is that?
So StarCam, I did it the other day. I was trying to get people to come over. We did a $10 fee to do it, so we didn't have very many people. But we don't have to charge $10. We did it the first time, but I mean, I can charge $0 for you to come on there. It's a streaming platform where it's a bit more interactive, so you can your questions, your super chats. So basically you have like a list of questions. Well, sorry, people can ask questions and they go in like a list. Okay. And the questions can be just written, or they can be like a little video that you record and post. And as the host, you can like pause them, replay them. So if somebody wants to ask you a technical question or whatever, and people, like, the way it works, like with money and stuff, is you can bump your question ahead by like putting bits on it. So it's like your question will get read quicker. Anyways, I'll probably do it from time to time, especially like for stuff where we want to have like smaller numbers where I can be more interactive. Yeah.
Lovely, Dan.
That's
A couple more of these over. And I will try and get to all these before we jump off here. Remember, guys, we're going to be jumping off here probably in about 10 minutes' time. Let the guys get on with the day, so don't send too many more, please. Now, we got Bell Powers with a super chat. Uncle John, who won the 198-pound class in the Torque tournament in Alberta, and what did you think about the competition there?
I didn't see the tournament. I'll probably talk to Beerman on Tuesday about that. He was still beard last Tuesday on the way back, so I didn't get too much out of him. But I'll look into it, see who was all out there. They got some decent guys out in Alberta.
Is that the tournament that we were talking about earlier, where
the day that Ontario died? Yeah.
Hey, Porky kicked ass. Porky went out. Yeah.
He was flying the flag. So Justin Berry with a super chat. In brackets, growing the sport. Events could have the crowd closer to the athletes like WAL did. It was more intimate and energetic. What do you guys think?
I like
the one thing. I feel like it's the only thing missing from this match. I wish it was a packed cauldron, because it would. If this was in the USA or any number of other places, I think the crowd would flock there in droves.
Roll on arena shows, guys. Roll on.
It's not too late. Who knows what they do?
That's where I'm going.
Yeah,
anyway,
but they haven't been like announcing. You should announce, because people need to buy tickets and go there. Whoever has the chance, but to be kind of silent. And I told them, we talked many times. I said that you can make this big fucking event because people will be excited.
Baby, where we want to go. The dreaded pirate Blue Bowen is in with a super chat. He's put, Ryan, will you shed a tear or two when the boy man Rolly Ray crushes you?
Look, I'll be honest. If Ray beats me, yeah, I'll break down. I will break down. To lose to a 15-year-old boy like that would wreck me.
Oh,
it would.
Oh, Devon. Who have you got? Rolly Ray or Ryan? Come on, son.
Oh, it's
Ryan's too big. Ryan's
so
way too big.
It's so obvious.
He's just too big.
Killing me, man.
Especially if they use any kind of rule system that's, at all good.
What about if Ray can use
a riser?
Yeah, a riser with a referee's grip, with Engen chirping in the referee's ear. I give it a 22%.
Not 44.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. That's half of 44.
Half 44.
Here we go.
Just like Chris Gold.
White Wolf with a super chat. Oh, he's put, have you guys seen the newest Devon's forearm meme video? You got to get over there and see it. Freaking off the hook funny. Levin stuff. I have not seen that.
I haven't seen it yet either. I love that channel. I like, you know what? Another really funny one is that Backyard Arm Wrestling. They have some funny videos. That Matt one that they just put out. Oh my God, that's great.
Swear one. Is that the one you were on about earlier?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. Yeah.
Check that out.
It's really good. It's
Send me that
good.
there.
Like when it's on my Facebook. If you go on my Facebook, it's like, I tell you, when the bass kicks in.
Yeah.
And Devon starts dancing.
I feel like they could release it on Spotify, and it would. I think with your match right now, Devon, and everything, I feel like it'd actually trend on the charts. It's good.
Matt said so much funny shit in that match.
Oh, it's
like,
great.
Oh my God. It's really
his
good.
autopilot's amazing. When Matt gets on one, he's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's kind of a big deal because it's his last match with cool hair. Now he's gonna be like the fucking rest of us. And he's like, it's kind of sad a bit.
It's pretty impressive though. I'm you know, for anybody who's got that kind of issue.
You know what he did? He had a transplant, but the transplant is ginger.
Shut the front door, son. He's blonde, isn't he, Matt? Naturally.
I saw Todd
Imagine
Hutchins.
blonde, like really blonde.
Blonde. So we'll see what happens.
Did you see the photo of Todd Hutchins the other day that England shared?
Yes.
I never realized how quality that man's ginger was.
Yeah.
That is a great picture.
There's already a lot of memes with you and him. You know that. You have seen
I know. I've seen a few.
So the dreaded pirate Blue Bowen back in with a super chat. He's put Rolly Ray is to blame. I agree. 100%. Zap the Bee with a super chat. Would Devon consider pulling Hermes next due to a better pre-match banter back and forth? I think this match could be some of the best pre-match banter with an East versus West person.
Yeah, I mean, that match is definitely eventually going to happen. I'll tell you, after this match, I am going into party mode for a while, but I think that match is inevitable at some point.
It's got to come.
Devon, if you beat Levon, does Hermes have to go through?
Yeah,
Levon?
then Hermes is less likely, because the thing is one of the things is that legacy hammer, you know, and whoever has the legacy hammer, it's their duty to bring it to the greatest. And I think that Levon is the greatest. It's one of the reasons why this match is happening. But if I was to beat Levon, I think that there's still a very high likelihood that Levon is still the number 2. So I think that the most likely thing would be a rematch. But if I were to win, yeah. But I don't even want to think about that. I just think about the 25th, and then I just know I'm going to be able to relax afterwards. I'm not planning another match or anything before.
That's fair enough, mate. No, I get that 100%. So Wild Willie's T, arm wrestling and strongman rants with a super chat. But have you folks seen my latest video? Has anyone asked Toddzilla to compare pork chop to Irakli yet? Love the show. Love you guys. Devon wins 4-2 or 4-3.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's a guy from the East Coast of Canada. He covers arm wrestling and strongman and stuff. Yeah, does great stuff for you know. That guy speaks the truth. Follow his channel.
He speaketh the truth.
Yeah, truth speaker.
Guys who speaketh the truth. White Wolf is another one. God himself has declared, Devon, you are the anointed one. In a booming voice from heaven, the clouds parted, and his hands touched the right hand of Devon. Go and win for your family, country, and God. Did it get you?
There we go.
Hey,
there we go.
What about that? That's the White Wolf.
How it's got to be. It's how it's got to be.
Carlos just come in with a super chat. He's just logged back in. Devon heard about Bill C11. Have you heard about Bill C11?
God.
Oh,
check it out, man. It's not good for us.
Is that the thing you were talking about?
Let me tell you something, especially since it's on your channel right now, Neil. Okay.
Do not get me cancelled.
Since I'm on your channel, let me tell you, seriously, I fucking hate our government. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. I'm telling you, I'm basically at this point embarrassed that I was a soldier for 20 years. Like, the state of our government is criminal. Like, they're criminal.
I can't imagine. I mean, you know, we'll see what happens, but I just can't.
Bad.
Something like that.
It's bad. Our government. It's disgusting what's happening in Canada.
He's not a fan, mate. Not a fan. Sondra Ambush Arm Wrestling with a super chat. He's put, look forward for you sometime in the future coming back to Norway, Devon. I promise that you and me and every single person from Norway want you to destroy Levon. I can't wait.
I'm all in, guys. Listen, I've done everything I can to win this match. So if Levon wins, I will have given it my best shot. But yeah, I can't wait to get back to Norway. So many good times there. Yeah.
Caleb Williams with a super chat. He's put, please beat Levon so we don't have to hear Hermes Gasparini and his fans cry about how he can beat you.
If there was no other reason to do it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that'll stop. So, guys, we are about 4 minutes to the half hour. And I said I'm going to let these guys jump off. We've been on for about 2 hours now. Super long show. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We've got about 1,400 people right now watching live. So for all you guys, I want to say a massive thank you. Listen, we have got a huge match coming up. This is as big as it gets in arm wrestling. Huge match. We hope it delivers, but what we do need is for all you guys to spread the word and get as many eyeballs on this thing as we possibly can. Going to be phenomenal card out there. We've got Irakli versus Marcio. We've got Corey versus Alex. And of course, we've got Levin and Devon. It's going to be a massive match, a massive night of arm wrestling. The talk won't stop. We'll try and bring you some stuff. Myself and Ray will be over there from the Tuesday, the Wednesday. We'll get on with these guys, try and keep out of their way, but give you as many insights as we possibly can from there and thereabouts. Enormous amount of hype. Back it, guys. Just before I jump off, please go subscribe to all my guest channels. Get over to the Voice of Arm Wrestling. Tune in, check it out, and sub there. If you're not already a member on John Thompson's channel, you should be. Uncle John's Arm Wrestling channel, killing it. One of the most active guys in the sport. Get over to Pound for Pound, Ryan Blue Bowen's channel. Remember, you can get equipment there. You can get attire there. Anything you need, you get 15% off with the code Supernatural. And how could we forget Devon Larratt? If you are not subscribed to Devon Larratt, what the are you thinking? Get over there, get sub to Devon. Do it now. Ladies and gents, if this is your first time to Supernatural Strength, please give us a like, give us a share, give us a sub. And until we see you next time here on The Fix, ladies and gents, take it easy, peeps. There it is.
Ray,